What it is, good people? It is your main man, the Bad Wolf himself. Woo! All right, all right, all right. What is this particular video about, you wonderful, intelligent light bringers, light workers? This particular video is about the national ID card. What? Wait, what a minute? Wolf, I've never heard of that. Well, I'm sure you haven't. There is a specific reason. Now, the national ID card is something that has been toyed around with for a long time. For those people who are, whether you're public or private, legal or real, juridical or flesh and blood, there's a lot of different things going on here when it comes to one's jurisdiction. That's where all this starts. It's all about jurisdiction. Doesn't matter who you claim, what you are, who you are, what you know, all that good jazz. It's about jurisdiction. And in the United States, there are multiple jurisdictions. Okay. Most people operate as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. They were originally born in the private with a given name in the private sector as a national or native to the state, as indicated by the Styles GPO manual. Pick any year, it's all the same. And go to your nationality section, and you will see in there that we are recognized as natives or nationals to each state. If you're born in Florida, you're a Floridian. New York, New Yorker. Wisconsin, Wisconsinite. California, Californian. And Ohio, a Hoosier. Still cracks me up. So you were born in the private. The private is what created the very system in the first place. The private people created the public government, and the public government allowed for the legal system to operate. Now, when you stay in the private or when you use the private, you are effectively their boss. We, the private people, can go to the Congress who oversees all of this, and they will make changes as we see fit. That is their job. That's their responsibility. And because we don't say anything, well, they just do it on their own. When you accept the state-created, all capitalized legal name, the ens legis, the nom de guerre in Latin for war name, your public transmitting utility legally, you become a juridical or legal person, a corporate fiction on paper, nothing more, nothing less. You are the authorized agent of it. You've been assuming the position of being a surety, fully responsible for it because you've never told them that you don't want to be. Some people say, well, why don't you just get rid of that? Well, it's, like I said in my other video that was pretty big, do not renounce your citizenship because you might want to use those legal things, those benefits and privileges that come along with it. But what you need to do is create your private side. Go back to using a given name or create a given name and utilize that in your private. You're going to be able to operate two different sides of your existence. Now, back to the national ID garden where this comes in. So a lot of us will use the passport card or book or both to utilize that whole separate part of us with the same name, but you're opening up an account with the government, which puts you into a different jurisdiction. The driver's license and those other things that you use on the state side, which is a corporation, the state of Massachusetts is different than Massachusetts Republic or the private side of that particular state. Private sector is what it's referred to. So there's two different sides, a public and a private, and you have a legal name and a given name. This is how this works. So one of the reasons why the states and the government don't really want you to use or have or for them to create, and because I hate to say it like this, so don't be mad, but the sheeple of America who've been duped into operating as 14th Amendment U.S. citizens or legal persons within the maritime jurisdiction and doing commerce have to or should request from the government a national ID card. People go, well, yeah, but Wolf, we got a passport over here. Okay, great. That's federal. That's their stuff. As a federal employee. Well, yeah, but we have a driver's license. Yeah, but that's the state side, which is a corporation, which is legally actually foreign, though using American sounding names. operating here under commerce or in their own private PMA, private members association, their own little jurisdictions that all of them got together and have together. So what about us Americans? Well, we feel that there's no real need for you guys to have a national ID card. Now, why don't they want us to have a national ID card? Because then they have to disclose the fact that we are, in fact, nationals. We are all Native Americans, no matter what color you are. You're born here, you're a native to America, you are a Native American. And by the Styles Manual, GPO, you are, in fact, have a name. Nationalities is short for national. National is native. Native to what? Well, let's say, well, we'll use Florida, okay? So if you're born in Florida, you weren't born in the state of Florida's corporation. You weren't born in a corporate-owned, state-owned hospital. You were born in a private hospital that's open to the public, that though underneath the jurisdiction and consent of the state, they're operating still yet privately. They're not receiving any government funding or anything like that, so they are considered private. Though legally they're probably operating commercially as a public entity open to the public, but they themselves are private. So they're not subject to FOIA requests and whatever else. Now, some hospitals may differ, but anyway, I digress. So the national ID would have to indicate, much like your certificate of live birth or your live birth record with the baby feet print on there, that you are in fact you. You're born in the republic of that area. Florida state is different than the state of Florida or the Republic of Florida. The private side, the people, you, the people, make up the republic. And because you're born privately, you're not property until you use the all capitalized name and become a resident. And they ask you to do what? Prove residency. So that means you could have lived in your entire area in Florida and been what? In the private as a non-resident, though legally and lawfully entitled to live in that area? Yeah, because you are a state citizen. And in Florida, the state citizen known as a Floridian. That's your nationality. Okay. You're a Native American, you're a Floridian, you're a state citizen, you are a national of the United States of America. So the problem with them creating a national ID card, and it won't happen anytime soon because not enough sheeple out there are waking up to become wolves and pressing their Congress people that you guys want a national ID card, because then you wouldn't even need the passport. Well, maybe for traveling, but we'll get into that in a moment. With a national ID card, it would prove who and what you really are. The states wouldn't like it because they would lose money. You wouldn't need their driver's license to operate your vehicle. You could use your national ID card or your passport, as indicated on the back of the passport. It does say for land, air, and sea travel. Well, why would you need a passport on the land? What land traveling are you doing with the passport? Because that's what it's for. Oh, in the vehicle privately. So the states don't want it. We know that. It's a money thing and a control thing. Federal government's like, well, we prefer you guys to be in our jurisdiction with your passports because those are ours, which is why people can get the visa. What is it, the I-327 visa? It's a little bit more expensive, but it's what people really should be using. The passport, the way we have them, is really for officials. This was given to me by somebody who's in certain areas that has been dealing with military and government stuff for a long time, we'll just say. So the national ID card would allow you to do all these things and then some, or whatever we tell them we want it to be able to do. But then certainly the federal government doesn't want us to have that, because then that would be a loss of income for them. And unless the people decide that they want to start petitioning for that or create a group and formulate something big, you're not going to have change. Why do you think they're not worried about like my little channel or certain other things that are going on? Is because they know that there are more sheep than wolves out there. And a lot of people, and it couldn't be me or even if all of my channel, 50 to 100,000 people were to all just get up tomorrow and here, we want a national ID card. It's not enough. And I'm not here to promote me to do that. That is you guys. All right. I operate and do my thing in the private. I provide some of this information to you guys in the public. But yeah, somebody would need to stand up and spearhead, hey, let's do this. Because they've talked about it before, but none of the people, you guys were, the sheep out there were, and I'm not doing anything perverted. It's supposed to be me, a sheep eating grass. You're just mowing down cows and sheep and whatever else to be harnessed for your resources, your energy, your credit. So I'm just providing the tools. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that there will never be a national ID card until enough people wake up and can comprehend and understand this information, who and what they are, to create a national ID card. Because I tell you what, it's not like they're not going to make money on the national ID card unless we tell them, hey, take the money out of our Cesta K trust, finance it from the money that we're giving you guys in taxes and that you're getting from these foreign corporations here in Texas, provide it to us for free. Well, then they wouldn't make any extra cheddar. Okay. And then it'd have to be a reasonable price or free. So then they couldn't charge $100 and some or whatever they charge for the passport, this, that, and the other things. But do you have the right of that? Yeah, you certainly do. So now you understand that, because if we decided we wanted a national ID card, we can tell them we want these security features, we want these abilities, we want all these things in there. So what did they do to curve you from not only that, but on the state side? The state is trying to get in on the action and distance people from getting the passport book or card and traveling. So what did they do? This is just education and entertainment from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatant treaty of the United States, treaty in respect to all the state ofs and all the other foreign municipalities and things out there. This is just education, so please be entertained. I stand neutral, just thoughts. They got together and decided to create the Real ID, which then also allows you to fly. This is a bat or something, not really sure. Batman. By getting on there the star. But you can only fly domestically, because they don't have the jurisdiction to say you can use this internationally. So to curve people from getting the passport or a visa, now that we know about the visa, they give you a card that allows you to drive, be utilized. It's recognized by the government as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen identification piece. And you've claimed it, so they're okay. Hey, if that's who you are, that's how you're operating, cool. We can look at you as a 14th Amendment being, a corporation, waiving your jurisdictional Constitution, America stuff, whatever, not a biggie. Cool. Do what you want to do. And I gave you the ability to fly and to drive. Driving is a commercial term. In Black Law's dictionary, it's for profit. The administrative powers bestowed upon them say that there are two types of public. The public that they can supervise, which means just to watch while you operate in your automobile privately. And if you need help or trouble, we will be there for you. And if you're driving too fast, even with the passport, which is stupid, don't, because they can still arrest you because you're endangering public safety. And they're going to label you a sovereign citizen, and then you're going to be damaging the movement. So for all these morons out there, well, I was doing 60 miles an hour in a 35 or 40. Yeah, you guys are the problems. I said it. You guys are the problems. Because when you're operating in the private, you're supposed to self-govern. You're not self-governing. You're endangering children and people's families when you do stupid things. And they will label you that, and they will arrest you. And the Department of State can take your passport away. Okay? So, yeah. I see some of your stupid comments in some of these groups on Facebook, because I belong to a lot of them and other groups with an assumed name, so that I can see how you guys are using information. And you guys are proving the government and these states right when some of you guys, not all, it's a small handful, do stupid things. You want stupid prizes, you play stupid games, you prove yourself as stupid and incompetent, which is why they don't give you guys almost any information about what you can and cannot do, though you should have it. It's to protect good people like us who can self-govern from people who are morons, like the people who go out there and do stupid stuff. So, moving forward. The ID we can use for, we can tell them what we want it to do. They give you these other things, and if you abuse them, they can yank them from you, but they can't take your rights and freedoms away unless you're endangering public safety. So don't be stupid. Don't worry. At some point in time, now, even though by law, officers are not allowed to pull you over because of a private plate or any of those things, at some point in time, you're going to speed or do something dumb or not have a light out, and then they're going to give you a chance to prove who and what you are. So don't force the issues, okay? And don't hurt the people who are out there doing it the proper way, because you're making it difficult for other people, myself included. All right. Alexa is talking to herself. That's cool. Or maybe it's a ghost or something else. Awesome. All right. So yeah, so that's the card. And so we have the ability to make these changes. But until enough people decide that they want change, then you're going to keep eating your grass and getting exactly what you don't want. Or maybe you do. It's okay. Some people are okay living inside the cage and being spoon-fed these 14th Amendment U.S. citizen private members association rules, laws, statutes, and regulations. That's fine, because then clearly you shouldn't govern. You can't self-govern, and you need to be governed. But not all of us people need to be governed. We just want a simple private life left alone. That's it. Easy peasy. All right. So that's really about it, guys, for the national ID card. So, but can you create your own? Yes. The only difficulty you may have in some areas is because you're creating a private ID, which is not going to be respected in commercial areas, because they only want you to have one of their PMA IDs. Government issued passport, state issued driver's license or ID, or something along those lines, because it's their jurisdiction. It's commerce. You want to be private, be private. If you want to be public, be public. And if you want to go between, make sure you have the correct vessels to operate in those two different jurisdictions. That's it. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your day. Have a great night and weekend. Get some sunlight. There's lots of vitamin D and E in there for you. Helps to improve your overall person, your living, breathing person. Does absolutely nothing for your legal or juridical person. So, ta-ta, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.